If there's a quota that some of you are trying to achieve and you've reached it, then you're good to go. You're good to go. One thing I've learned trading electronically is that the volatility could catch you at any moment in time. So we try to stay away from those trades that nab you and just basically get you in trouble. And we don't know when those trades are going to happen, right? I mean, usually we're putting on a trade for a reason, hopefully, and sometimes the reason doesn't play itself out, and you get yourself in a little bit of a trouble. You're working a trade and it doesn't go your way, and then you have to exit it, and then now you're like, oh, what did I do that for? It's all a psychological part of the game. Again, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat box. All right, again, coming up here. Yes, the emotional state is the most important part that you have to stay in check. Definitely, if you're making a couple bad trades in a row and get yourself, that's when you get yourself in a little bit of a pickle, if that's the right word. So, but yes, good job, Philip. Sometimes I wish I take my own advice. But that's what happens as traders, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a nice idea. I mean, that's a nice idea, but I don't know if I could. First of all, I don't think I even have one. Second of all, for me, I just rather just turn it off. But hey, everybody. Well, you're right. Everybody's got their own little thing, right? If that's how you want to trade, and but you reach your quota, and paper trade, I guess would be okay. Again, like I said, everybody has their own little way of managing themselves. I guess maybe that's the right terminology. Sometimes it's you just got to find what works for you. And really, there's no right way or wrong way. Everybody deals with it in their own little way. So that's the thing that you have to write. And that's what I respect here. And that's what we do in our education course. We try to find the niche that maximizes your profit potential as an individual, and not somebody else's. Because, like I said, everybody trades differently. Not everybody trades the same. And if anybody here knows that, it's me, because I've been around a lot of great traders, and they all trade. They all have their own little way of trading. They're all successful in their own little way, right? All right, we've come back up here and tested this 03 area a few times. I think once we probably go, then we'll look for a 14 level above. Yeah, Don, I tell you, it has been very, very. I mean, once it goes, it's going to go, right? But if and when it gets there is the question. Right. Just kind of hanging up here now, trying to see if we can get through this 03 area, these highs. Like I said, if we do go, it comes right back down. Tough little area. I have to be honest with you, Pat. I've never heard that analogy ever. Trading is like cooking a chicken. You can do it 300 different ways. I've never heard that analogy for trading. Never. But okay. I don't know if I can relate, but okay. That's funny. All right, so you can see the market tried 4 or 5 times to get through 03, and basically it's failed every single time. And the bulls who were trying to push it through finally gave up here, and has created this little jaunt back here down to the blue band pivot area. So this is where the concept or the idea where if you want the market to go down, you have to buy it first. Well, they bought it. They kept trying to buy it. They kept constantly trying to buy it and push it above that 03-4 area, and they finally, the bulls said, "Yeah, that's it. I'm done. I'm done." And so they sold it off here a little bit. That does happen. Could happen. It does happen. And this is why that becomes a little area of resistance. Now we get above the 04, probably pop up a little bit, because now that the area there becomes where the bears have won basically the battle. and now they're going to have their stops above that area as an exit strategy for any short position that they may have if they don't cover them beforehand, right? So these are some of the, what's going on here with some of these moves here, and then comes right back down to our blue band here. If you jumped in, hopefully you did. Oh, I hope you did. That was a nice little trade there. Tell me you did. Somebody tell me they did, because that was just no brainer. Sometimes that works really nicely, and other times you just got to keep your stop in. It works more nicely than not. Okay, nice rotation there. Again, there was a reason to trade it. There was. Did you want to take it or not? It all depends on you. But this goes to that situation where I mentioned before that this is a nice trade that worked, and it was very nice, and it gave us a nice rotation if you did take it. But then if if it didn't work, and then, you had to get stopped out, and then you made your quota from before, now you're not in your quota area anymore. Now you got to start trading upset. So sometimes, like I said, this is why, if you're going to trade, you got to trade, right? You can't be scared to trade. You got to find your area, find your reason, and put the trade on. And if you can do that, and understand why the trade's being put on, and even if it doesn't work, you got to just move on. That's fine. I think Don says that the best. He's like, put the trade on. If it's for a good reason, if you like it, it's good. If it doesn't work, there's another trade. Sometimes because of the volatility, we get more trades than other times. And sometimes we just have to just wait for tomorrow. But lately, because of the volatility being as good as it is these days, we're getting ample opportunities. We like to average 4 or 5 trades a day. I think we definitely have had more than that this morning already. So, but there will be times where things are slow and nothing's happening, and we have to definitely be a little bit patient here. All right, so now the downside support is down at 79 area. Again, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat box area. Eurozone inflation hit a record of 5% in December, triggering fears of prolonged price pressures across the bloc, much like the Fed, which ruled out any price hikes through 2023 before that transitory forecast was retired. I love that. Many are now pricing a more aggressive stance from the ECB. Last month, the central bank said it would cut monthly asset purchases, but pledged to continue its unprecedented level of stimulus in 22. Though the coming inflation data may change that position. In the meantime, predictions surrounding the number of rate increases the Fed will have to implement this year keeps going up. Futures markets are now betting on 4 to 5 hikes in 22 from the forecast 3 to 4 as of Friday. The momentum has seen in 10-year yields climb 39 basis points so far in January to 1.9%. from about, what is it, they said 40 basis points. So it was hovering around 1.5. Yeah, it was hovering in 1.5 area. So that's what they're betting on. So yesterday's sell-off was contributed to Goldman Sachs, they said, as the market retreats here. The next support level is down at 79. Goldman Sachs reported some hefty profits on Tuesday, earning nearly $4 billion. That's billion with a B. And the fourth quarter alone are $10.81 a share. But that wasn't enough for investors. The stock slid 7% on the worst day in 18 months, shedding about $10 billion in market value since the Friday close. Don't forget that it is also a big down day for the market in general, with Dow and S&P's going down about 1.5%. So not only did Wall Street Premier Bank miss fourth quarter's forecast of 4.1 billion, they made 4 billion. Okay, that's how tight these guys are keeping their, or 11.81 a share. They made 10.81 a share. There were several other areas that dinged sentiment, compensation costs and bonuses tied to capital market businesses like investment banking caught the street by surprise, with the expenses rising 33% year to year. I mean, they're giving more bonuses out there. Gee, what a surprise. Goldman Sachs has an impressive record year, but the thud of a quarter. I mean, look, they don't miss by much, and they just pummeled them. That's what happens in our market. Sometimes you don't even understand why. The 5G drama with AT&T and Verizon has delayed the implementation of 5G network around key U.S. airports, and it's a big decision for the company, which spent nearly $70 billion. Companies would spend on C-band spectrum rights, though they didn't provide details on zone size adjustments or how long the suspensions might last, while the FAA worries that the new cellular frequencies could endanger aircrafts by throwing off altimeters readings. The FCC and other regulatory agencies around the world feel otherwise. All right, so we got big business here, worrying. I mean, like I said yesterday, there's no way that they're gonna stop flying planes today. That wasn't gonna happen. The market now seems to maybe be a little bit weak. I don't know. It got a little bit strong before. Now they just couldn't get it above that 04 area there, and now coming back down here. Support would be at the 79 area. So again, they tried 3, 4, 5 times to get it above that 04, 03 area. They just couldn't do it. And they get your ensuing sell-off here because they just gave up. I said, all right, I guess we can't sell it. We're going to sell it and push it down here a little bit. Their stops are definitely going to be above that. So we don't really have anything above that till 14. So that's kind of okay, I guess. And now we're just hanging around our pivot area. So we'll see if we're going to get any type of other movement or not. Again, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat box area. All right, so there's no other numbers coming out today, just 20-year note auction later on. We'll see if the market kind of settles in here into a range or not. I don't know. But you have support levels on the downside there. So right, little bit of resistance against our blue band there. If you're a little aggressive, once we stayed below to close below it, maybe a little bit bearish. If we get above 95 there, you don't want to be short anymore. All right, so the blue band's holding very nicely there. And coming back down there, we got next support level we have is the 79 area. All right, market downticks here a little bit. Again, maybe if you were a little aggressive there, could have got short against our pivot there once we held rotation to the downside. Got down here to 80 here, bounced back up. Don't know if you were able to get in there at 80 on your scale or not. If you did get in, you get a nice rotation there against the 80. If we close this bar here and we don't hit the 79, then the 79 is a little bit riskier. If you are just looking for 79, you might have to adjust there a little bit. Okay, so we definitely got in the second bar here, so be a little bit careful underneath there. If you're looking at the 79 area. Okay, we'll come back down here to the 80. So be a little bit careful here if you're going to take it. Look at make a little bit of an adjustment here, I think. But again, all depends on how aggressive you want to be. Okay, that held very nicely there. They trying to push it through. Now they do. Again, it becomes a lot more riskier if you didn't get to 79 because of the way it traded up against the 80. So we talked about that, and we expected this rotation here through it. So we had to, if you were going to take it at all, if you're more risk averse, you're not going to make the adjustment. You're just going to leave it alone and wait for the 72 area. Again, everybody's got different risk tolerances. What we try to do is explain the risk for you, and you have to make that determination on your own here as to how you're going to put on trades or not. All right, well, if you made a little bit of adjustment to the downside, you get a little 2 points here rotation from the 78 area. And now you're getting a little bit more. So hopefully you made that adjustment against the 79 based on the price action prior to that. If you were so inclined. All right, so nice little trade there if you did make the adjustment. And now the market kind of rotates back up here a little bit. Well, not really, but next support level we have is down at 72. All right, continue to downtick here, looking for the 72 area. All right, if you jump in there at 73 against 72, you got a quick rotation, maybe coming back down. Again, scalping the market, taking what the market gives you. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask in the chat box. We are using levels that we gave out this morning as a guide today, and we've bounced off our upper resistance areas very nicely there, and now we're coming and retesting some of these lower levels. Again, we've been talking about scaling in, so you'd have to make that adjustment, scaling into a position. We're not going to be perfect. I wish we could say that we are, but we're not. All right, market continues to downtick here a little bit. Again, just keeps your stops in place, right? All right, nice rotation there against the 72 area. Again, scaling into a level helps us. All right, there's a couple of points off of that. Okay, got a nice quick 3 points off of our, 2 points off our 72 area. All right, Julio, you have a good one also. We really don't have anything till the 60 area on the downside next. And the market continues to downtick here a little bit. We got support down. Next support level we have is down at the 60 area. All right, market continues to downtick. Next support level we have is down at the 60 area. Again, we've had a decent opportunity this morning with the levels that we gave out. They've all worked out very nicely for us, both on the long side and the short side. Again, if anybody has questions, feel free to ask in the chat box as we're coming here to the end of the morning session. We've had a pretty decent morning this morning, and hopefully you were able to tag along with some of our trades that we put on. All right, market here slowly got a little, once we couldn't rotate above that 04 area, this market's gotten a little bit weak here and continues to stay weak. We've used our 79 and the 72 here to try to scalp the market a little bit. Now we're coming down. The next support level we have is down at the 60. On the upside, if we get above the 95, we said earlier we don't want to be short anymore. And maybe they go rotate to highs. Once we get above 04, I think we're going to push higher to our upper levels above that we have at 14. So kind of a interesting morning. They were very bullish this morning, and all of a sudden they got a little bit weak here. And now we'll see what it wants to do from here. So 60s are our next support level. Patience is important. Waiting for opportunities to present themselves important, and that way you are able to let the market kind of give you those opportunities based on the work that we do. And patience is important. Anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat box. All right, take a little bit of a break, come back in a bit.
Hey, a couple quick programming notes. I've got a link to the website that I send out time to time. I'm going to send it out to you now. I've also got some special links that give you a discount based on this service, this Trade Along Live session with Sol. It's on from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. The afternoon sessions are geared to those that are part of Sol's class and his training. And if you'd like to know more about that, let me know, and we can talk privately on the telephone. Hey, Bruce, how are you making out today? Hey, Frank. Kent. Hey, Flock. Sal Rule, let me know what you're thinking to do. Hey, Victor, Timothy, Robert, KG, Edward. Hey, Anupam. So if you're interested in the discounted link, it can only be found in this Trade Along Live session. So you have to be logged in to get it, which you are. It's not found on the website. So raise your hand, I'll send it out to you, and you can sign yourself up. And it's a unique and great opportunity to join us on a daily basis in this service. If you want to invite your friends, tradealonglive.com. Tradealonglive.com is the login to register for this Zoom Trade Along as a guest. If you're coming in as a guest today, thanks for coming in. And just let us know how we can help you. Remember, this is a two-way street. If we don't hear from you, we just exit you. We don't want to do that. We want to make sure this is a dialogue based on what you're looking for and what we have to offer. So I'll be in the background if you need me. And appreciate you being here.